Good morning and thank you for joining me on Delicious by Debbie, and today I'm going to make some homemade noodles. I want to make chicken noodle soup eventually, but for right now I'm just going to do the noodles. I like them to sit for a while. They don't really have to dry, they can be used immediately, but I like mine to just sit for a little bit before I use them. So I'm going to go ahead and make them now, and I need 2.5 cups of flour. I'm using my big Fiesta ware bowl. For some reason I just like that when I'm doing dough or noodles. 2.5 cups is what I need. So I'm going to do the spoon and level. There's just something about homemade noodles that is just so good. I enjoy making them. Okay, there's 2 cups, and now I need 1/2 of a cup. All right, there's 2.5 cups. And I need a teaspoon of salt. So we'll put a teaspoon of salt in there. Really not much in ingredients when you make noodles. There's not much you have to have. Pretty simple. Gonna mix that up real good. And I like to make a little well in it, in the flour. And I'm going to mix 2 eggs with 2 tablespoons of cool water, not ice cold, but cool. And this has been in the garage where there is no heat, so it's nice and cool. Not refrigerator cold, but it's nice and cool. So we'll put 2 tablespoons of the cool water in. We're gonna mix that together. Okay. Wipe this off here where I spilled some. All right, now I'm going to pour that right into that hole, that well that I made in there. And we're going to mix that up. Slowly mix the flour around it into it. Coming together. Might need a tiny bit more water to get it to come all together. If it is too dry, just add a little bit more water, and if it's too much water, you just add a little bit more flour. It's really easy. Okay, that's coming together now. Okay, it's coming together now. I did end up having to add about the equivalent of another tablespoon of water. I've had to add more in other times. I think sometimes it depends on your flour or whatever, but I am ready now to put this out on the counter and knead it. Get everything out of my way here because I'll be rolling this out. But for right now, I just want to knead it a little bit. So we'll put the dough out onto the counter. I'm just going to knead it like I would a yeast dough. Fold it over on itself, and press down, and fold it over on itself, and just keep doing that. And every time I do it, I can tell it's a little bit more pliable. Okay, that's feeling much, much better. Feels more like a bread dough. kind of elastic-like. All right, that looks good. But I am going to let this sit here. I'm gonna put a towel over it. And I'm just gonna let that sit for, oh, I don't know, 20 minutes or so, and then I'll roll it out. Okay, it's time to roll this dough out. I have floured the counter, floured my rolling pin, and I want to roll this pretty thin, because when you put these into the hot broth of soup, if you're making soup with them, or even just into water to cook them plain, they do get bigger, they get thicker. If this recipe makes more than you need, you can always freeze them before you cook them. Just put them on parchment paper or something and put them in the freezer and quick freeze them, and then take them off the parchment paper and put them in a Ziploc bag. I've done that before if it's too many. Because with just the two of us, obviously I don't need to be making as big of a batch of soup as I used to, but I do tend to use quite a few noodles when I make it, because these it's probably about as thin as I'm going to make them. Then I use my, this is a Pampered Chef one, but I use my pizza cutter to cut these. If they stick at all, then I put them in some flour. Don't know if I'll have to or not, but we'll see. And I like to cut them pretty narrow. You can hear my Instant Pot over there going off. I have 3 pounds of frozen hamburger squares in there, cooking it up so that I can crumble it, freeze it in 1 pound packages. Okay, make sure you're seeing this. I do cut them pretty narrow because, like I told you before, they do get bigger in the liquid. This takes a little bit of time, and they're not straight. Trust me, these are not being cut straight for sure. I also don't like mine too long, so I'm going to cut them across this way. Okay. Now I'm just going to let them sit there until I'm ready for them and let them dry a little bit.